In the name of the Father, and of the Son, and of the Holy Spirit, one God. Amen. Good morning, everyone. Welcome. We come back again to our Sunday readings, and again, the third Sunday of the Coptic month, and as we said before, focusing on the love, or the grace of the only begotten Son, the grace of the only begotten Son. We have a chapter of the Gospel of St. Matthew, the encounter of the Lord with a person that is blind, possessed, and mute, but the Lord healed him, and then the mute man came back again to what is normal, came back again to what is natural, came back again to what he supposed to be. And then we heard the story how the Pharisees was arguing with the Lord and saying, how is he doing this? But the fact that the Lord is saying, he is casting out demons. He's casting out demons. In order to cast out demon, that demon before that is abiding, is living. Right? So I want to look at it from that view. If the man was able to have the Lord in his heart, then there will be no room for demon, right? And if there is no room for demon, then he is not struggling and suffering as the text says that he was blind, mute, and possessed. And then there would be no need for the Lord to cast out, because the Lord is abiding. The Lord is abiding. You see the kind of like the same thought in the Gospel of the Vespers yesterday. The Gospel of St. Mark chapter 4, where the Lord was with the disciples and asked them to go cross over to the other side. And then they left everything, and then it says that in verse 36, Mark 4:36. Now when they had left the multitude, they took him along in the boat as he was. They took him along. They allowed him and asked him and begged him to come and dwell with them, to be with them in the boat. And with that, even with the strong wind and with the storm and everything, he was there. He was there. What I'm trying to get to today, as I was reading more and more of the readings, is how can we really allow God to dwell in our hearts? So there is no room for evil in the heart. There is no reason for evil to take over. And again, we look at the story and say, this is so dramatic and so extreme, and a person that's possessed, then we thank God we don't have this. But you know what? We are possessed in a different ways, if I may say that, right? It's not the extreme way of reading this, but when we are not able to love each other, when we are not able to have a place for the Lord in our hearts, when we are not able to think and contemplate Him all the time, when we leave our hearts and our minds open to every different kind of thought that comes and goes without any attention, without any effort to filter anything, when we are just being driven by evil, evil doesn't come in an evil way. And that is the problem, that is the issue that we all fall into. And that's what the book and the proverb said. Things can come first as what it sounds and it looks and it feels like it is. It is good. But the end of it is evil. Why? Because, again, we're not able to put and to keep the mind and to keep the heart open for the Lord to come. And if we examine our lives, all of us, I'm the first one, and see exactly how much we are being affected by such an impact, to the point that we are not always able to be in communication with the Lord. Are we like the disciples yesterday in the Gospel of Vespers who allowed him to come as he is? Just come as you are. Just come and dwell. We don't have any expectation. We don't have any rules. We don't have anything. Just come as you are. Come and dwell. And you see the contrast, the total contrast of that in the gospel today, a person that did not do this. and ended up with being possessed. How are our thoughts? How much we are struggling with thoughts of envy, of anger, of not liking the other, of being on the edge of just being anything will trigger a flood of emotions. How can we make our heart and our mind a center for the Lord and a place for the Lord to dwell in it? To dwell in it. As I was contemplating this, I stopped at a beautiful passage from the Old Testament in 2 Kings chapter 4. 2 Kings chapter 4. One of the encounters of Elisha with a woman, the Shunammite woman. And it's really interesting, how he went to her and she didn't have anything, and we know the story of the oil and everything. But after this, in chapter 4, there is another encounter that is really beautiful. 2 Kings 4, verse 9. I'm just going to read a couple of things and connect everything together. And she said to her husband, "Behold now, I know that this is a holy man, Elisha, of God, who is continually passing our way." He was in the area, he was in charge of the prophets, so he would pass back and forth, and he would stop at that house of the Shunammite. "Let us make a small room on the roof." So her heart moved and said, well, this man of God, he's been coming and going all the time, so he doesn't have a place to stay. We're not really taking care of him in a good way. So what about making a small room on the roof with walls and put there for him a bed, a table, a chair, and a lamp, so that whenever he comes to us, he can go in there. And you wonder about the details of this, just make a room. But why the text is actually talking about, she's going to actually make a full room, full service, right? A room in the roof with walls, meaning it's separated, it's not with everybody else. And we'll put in the room what? A table and a bed and a chair and a lamp. And as she did this to him, and as the man of God sensed that love, he said in verse 12 something that's very important. I think this is the message for each one of us today. And he said to Gehazi, his servant, "Call the Shunammite." When he had called her, she stood before him. And he said to him, "Say now to her, see, you have taken all this trouble for us. What is to be done for you?" That is the question. What is to be done for you? Who's saying that? Elisha, the man of God. Saying it to whom? To the Shunammite, who did what? Who built a room for him with walls and a table and a chair and a lamp and a bed. And then out of this he comes like, okay, what is it? Just name it. You went through all this trouble. What is it that should be done for you? And I think that is the question that we want to ask ourselves today. Are we listening God's voice? Are we able to make really a room for him? So there is no need to cast out demons. There is no need to cast out bad spirits, because he is there. He is there. And you see how Elisha told her, you went through a lot of trouble. You went through a lot of trouble. Imagine that time. It's not easy to just go to whatever store and just get a bed and a table and no, that is a lot of trouble. But she did everything for him, and that's why when he sensed this, and like when you did all this trouble, when you went through all this trouble, you know what is it that should be done for you? I was reading more and more into that, and I just came towards a couple other meanings, but I don't want to go into more details. But the idea, again, of what she did, again, and why the text is very, very detailed on what she has put in the room, right? First of all, it's on the roof, not with everybody else, right? If you really want to make a room for the Lord in our hearts, let's go on the roof. Let's get our heart, our mind, ourselves higher from the body, higher from everything, higher from what we want, higher from what we always are waiting on and are so confused and so contained by. Go to the roof. When you see a nice beautiful building in downtown or something, and you ask, does it have a rooftop or not, right? And you want to go there and spend some time and enjoy the view of the Lord. Go to the roof. Number two, that room is what? Has walls, separated, isolated. Wall, actually, the meaning of wall is to dig, the actual Hebrew word. Digging, putting something. She put a bed. The bed is actually the word itself in the Hebrew also has the connotation of stretching. That's how we stretch on the bed. Stretch our heart, stretch our mind, stretch our needs, stretch our dreams with Him. But we are so content with where we're at. Again, the Shunammite didn't have to do this. He was going back and forth. That's very good, right? Okay, why do I have to go through the trouble? Whenever you come, we'll just deal with you and maybe give you a cup of water or whatever, and that's fine. But no, she said, that's not enough. That's not enough. We always say it's enough. It's enough. And we don't want to put the effort. She went through all the effort to build a room for him. So then the evil spirit is not there. She did, as I was looking more about the chair, it's not just a chair. The text and the word that is used is actually, it's a throne. She made a throne for him. She made a throne for him. And after all this, when he saw this and when he saw the trouble that she did, he came and asked Gehazi, his servant, and asked her that beautiful, beautiful question, what is it that shall be done for you? The Lord is today was saying, like, what is it that shall be done for you? You want pure heart? I'll give it to you. You want peace? I'll give it to you. You want everything? I'll give it to you. You know what? This is not what I want. I want you to be like me, and this is what I will give it to you. To become Christ-like. I gave you this already when I came down and became a man and took flesh. And I gave you already this. When we come and take and participate from the Eucharist, we are one with Him. Like, what else do you want? I remember one time, I probably mentioned this story before, I was so worried about, school and second year of pharmacy school and so worried about it. And I went to my father of confession, like, the whole world is going, down and, I'm full of anxiety. And he looked at me like, what's wrong? I said, like, what's wrong? School. He looked at me and asked me one question. He goes, did God who saved you and gave you eternal life, isn't He able to make you pass this year? I said, yes. I said, okay, go. Like, is it that easy? No, it's not that easy. It's not that easy, but we need to build a place for Him in order to understand that. We need to elevate ourselves, go to the roof. We need to stretch our heart, our mind, our needs. We need to have a throne for Him. And you see all those things again quickly in the readings of today. The Pauline epistle, 1 Corinthians 16, talking about something that is that the people were devoting themselves to the service, stretching themselves. Devoting themselves to the service, 1 Corinthians 16, 15. Now I urge you, brothers, you know that the household of Stephanas were the first converts in Achaia and that they have devoted themselves to the service of the saints. Are we devoting ourselves to the service or not? Devoting ourselves to build something for the Lord or not. Same thing in the Catholic epistle, James 4:8. Draw near to God and He will draw near to you. That's what she did. That's what she did. She came close to him, to the man of God. She's like, come, dwell here. I'll go beyond and do a room for you and bring a chair and a bed and a lamp and a table. So, what do you want? I'll give it to you. Draw near and He will draw near. And finally, the book of Acts, where 15:9, and he made no distinction between us when you're talking about the work of the Lord, and there is no difference between a Jew and a Greek and a Gentiles. And then the text says, and He made no distinction between us and them, having cleansed their heart by faith. Having cleansed their heart by faith. The Lord is cleansing and cleaning and purifying our hearts when we have that faith and when we believe in Him. When we want to have a room built for Him. And then you hear that voice today, what is it that I should do for you? God is asking you. God is asking me today, what is it? What do you want? What do you want? You want freedom? You want glory? You want royal priesthood? You want to be my own people? You want to unite with me? Come, come. But remember, you have to stretch. You have to go to the roof. And you have to build a wall in order to live with him. May God give us that understanding. Then there is no need for him to come and deal with our madness, our struggle with evil. But he is always working, and he's been working. To him the glory now and ever, to the ages of all ages. Amen.